Hey everyone, a very special type of video today. I'm sitting down with the second gentleman of the United States, Doug Emhoff, to talk about two very important subjects. Food, obviously, but also his work on combating anti-Semitism.
This is not a conversation about everything else going on in the world. This is a conversation about treating everyone better at a time when we really need to.
So there was only one place in New York City that I could bring Mr. Emhoff, the place I've referred to as being more Jewish than Temple, 2nd Ave Deli, where we sat down over a table full of pastrami sandwiches, latkes, and more.
So, what does food mean in terms of like bringing us together, especially at a time when we really need that?
Yeah, and look, I'm a native New Yorker, so coming back home to the place of my birth, and even when I moved to Jersey, we spent almost every weekend, summers in the city. So this whole experience it brings back like who I am as a Jew, like how I relate to my own Jewish culture and identity. So much of it is around this city and this kind of food and this kind of environment. And it's not a bunch of Jewish people in here. This is a cross-section of this incredible city. And writ large, when I travel the country doing events that are really trying to bring people together and fight hate, so much of it is around food.
Yes.
And because as you and I talked last time, it is the universal thing that we share. And so much of the food has roots in other cultures.
So we got like latkes, I got pastrami sandwich.
Yeah.
The pickles are great. Like, do you have a favorite food growing up? Do you have a favorite Jewish food now?
The pastrami, the kugel, the matzah brie. My sister's here. My mom we love dearly, but was not a great cook.
Okay.
But she can make certain things like matzah brie.
Okay.
But I'm a bagels and lox guy. I'm like a connoisseur and constantly in search of the perfect bagel. So back here in New York, it's like,
There, everywhere I struggle, like I travel so much, and everywhere I go around the world, they're always like, we got good bagels. And I'm like, no, I'll try. And I'm like,
it's never the same. And look, there's close ones, but when you come here, I don't know what it is. It's the heaviness. There's
a density. Yes, the density, the texture, the amount that
we
people
don't know
just
what
don't
it
get.
is, but it's hard to replicate. But I have to say I had one earlier today. When I'm home, I have to partake. But this is such a classic.
Oh yeah,
here and look at the portions.
It is gigantic. They don't mess around, and they're going to keep coming out and make it like they want you to feel like a Jewish home. Hey, you need more. You definitely need more.
In this day and age, you can take it home. You can gosh on it later. And by the way, I love pickles and like don't undersell the accoutrements because I love the pickles, and I would be diving into that coleslaw. Just that particular mustard that's just so spicy.
Yep, the deli mustard.
Perfect. And just spreading it all over the sandwich. So this, again, it not only makes me hungry, but it makes me, it brings back that authentic feeling that I have of growing up and coming back to the city, seeing my grandparents and sitting in places like this with them and hearing their stories and sharing that connection over generations, over this food. Right. Yeah. That it just really brings it back. And as I talk about anti-Semitism, we were at the White House for this week when I'm this kid from Brooklyn, New York, who grew up in Jersey, who's now the first second gentleman, the first Jewish White House principal ever, speaking at the Rose Garden at the White House with the president and the vice president about us as Jews. But this is where it came from. And so it's really feels good being here.
No, even you had mentioned your speech, like putting the mezuzah up the first time for the White House. And like, you could feel the energy of everyone there being like, oh, like, or maybe it seems silly, but that is a big deal.
And it was my father I mentioned.
Yeah.
A man of very few words, loves his family dearly. And to see my father well up and shed some tears, which I so rarely see in my life, because he got to see his son, his daughter-in-law, who he loves dearly, the vice president at the residence, putting this mezuzah out.
Yeah.
It was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Experience. And I'm glad I got to share that story. Ready? Oh, man. Never misses.
No.
Oh, no.
I feel great already. I was very hungry.
I'm ready for the rest of my day. How about you?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for using your voice the way you do and celebrating being Jewish and showing the joy of being Jewish. I mentioned that at the White House, I mentioned this wherever I go. Even in these times that feel so dark and heavy, like it's still all about joy. It's all about experiencing our culture in this unique way, sharing it with people who are not Jewish, and just having this kind of conversation. And I love this, and we gotta just make sure we remember that. No matter how dark it feels, you still gotta feel that this thing.